Hi guys, and welcome to a new book review video. So today I'm going to be reviewing Dr. Sleep by Stephen King. So Dr. Sleep is actually my second read for Spookathon. So I think it covers thriller, and it covers childhood fear, and it covers spooky setting because we're kind of going back for a while to that crazy hotel. Even so, it's not at the hotel, it's at a lodge that was built on top of it after it burns. And yeah, I think that's basically it. Yeah, nothing spooky on the title and no orange in the cover. So that's only 3 out of all the challenges. So I think I actually finished the challenges, but I'm still going to be reading a next book. Anyway, so today is the review of Dr. Sleep, which is the book that comes after The Shining. So The Shining is kind of like a very popular book by Stephen King. It has like a movie about it, which is also pretty good. And I don't even know if Dr. Sleep has a movie or not. I haven't watched it at all. So basically, Dr. Sleep is when Danny, so the kid of The Shining, grows up, but not completely. So it first starts when you have like Danny and his mom, and they are living alone because of course his father is dead, and he's got those ghosts still coming. There's a ghost who lived in the hotel are still after him, and they're coming. And so Dick teach him how to like block them basically, and he kind of tell him that when when the student is ready, the teacher is going to appear. That's how it works. So Danny doesn't make anything of that, like basically he just remember all of that, but like, so that's where it starts. So at the beginning, in the first few prologue, I guess, Danny is still a kid. And the thing is, you have 3 sort of prologue to that book, and you have, the book is this like cut into 4 parts, which are all cut into chapters, kind of like 5-ish chapter each, so you have like 20 chapter in total, and then you have like 2 epilogue kind of thing. So it's a very strange book. Like the prologue are not called prologue and the epilogue are not called epilogue, but that's basically what they are. So you see the guy, like what happened with this kid, then you see what happened with the antagonist, who are called the True Knot, and then you also see what's going on with a kid called Abra. And the thing is, at the beginning of the book, she's not even born. So basically what you're going to see is like, you're going to see Danny, who actually got the alcoholic temper problem of his father. He's gonna stop drinking, and basically that's what you see. So at the first you have the all, like, it put on the setting of Danny. He's like at his lowest, he's doing things really badly, and he's moving from places to places because like he get fired all the time because he's drunk basically, and he can't stay anywhere, and he like just move from places to places to get new jobs. And that's what you have there. And at some point, Abra is born, and Danny arrives at the same place at the same time, and he sees Tony again. And like, I always thought, when I read Shining, when I watched the movie, I always thought that Tony was like an older version of Danny. So basically, I thought that when we were looking to Tony, we had like a sort of vision of the future, what Danny will actually be in the future. But actually it's not the case, because when Tony appears, he's the same Tony, so he looks like Danny's kid now, like a much younger version of him. So it's a little bit strange. Like, I always thought that we had glimpse in the future, but the future didn't turn out exactly at all what it was supposed to be. And so I think it's a kind of like, because of the concept of the book, if you look at The Shining, it's like when Stephen King was like drunk, I guess. Like, he was an alcoholic before, and then he stopped drinking. If you have read like his book on writing, you have like a few insight on that. And so in The Shining, like, it's like the point of view of that guy who is actually an alcoholic and a writer. And in this new book, it's like a different alcoholic point of view, like the recovery point of view. So I think it's kind of work as a concept, because like at the end of the book, it actually explained a few things, and he said like people wanted to know what happened to Danny, and people always ask that kind of thing, like, what if Jack had been like to Alcoholic Anonymous, or that kind of thing. So basically, he kind of took those ideas and made a book. So it follows The Shining. It's always The Shining. It's the same Danny and stuff. But the thing is, I would never have imagined from reading The Shining that Danny would turn out to be like his father, because he seemed to be a lot smarter than that. And I mean, he had Dick around apparently for a while, and his mother would always call Dick, so he had a new father figure from when he was 5 years old. A father figure who actually understood the shining inside him. So I wonder why it turned out that way. As the explanation in the book is that he sort of started drinking because his shining was too strong, and whenever he drank, the shining would disappear. So basically, he dumbed down all his shining by drinking. So that was basically the excuse given in the book. And yeah, it's a possibility, but since Danny had Dick around and could actually like lock, basically Dick taught him how to lock the ghost, you would think that Danny would actually not need to dumb down that many things. And like, maybe it's annoying to read people's mind and stuff on occasion, but since Danny seemed to have a better control on his shining, I wonder why he ended up that way. So anyway, he still ended up that way, and that's the novel that we have, so I'm not going to discuss the is he really Danny? Like, he doesn't look like Danny to me, but after he got sober, he's more like who he should have been from the start. So he got sober when Abra is born, and basically she's sort of communicating with him via shining radio. So she sent him messages in his mind, like he write her name without knowing she exists. She erased his blackboard and put like right there instead, that kind of thing. So, and the thing is, we don't have this claustrophobic idea that we have in The Shining, where they are inside that hotel and it's only the three of them and the ghost. In this book, you see like Danny's recovery for a long time. It's kind of a very slow-moving book. So you see Danny's recovery and Habra growing up, and you see the truth, not what they actually do. But like, you don't see them doing that much of it. You see them kill one kid, and they say they kill a lot, that they have like a good steam year, but basically that's it. So you don't have the claustrophobic ideas, you don't have the gruesome looking bad antagonist like in The Shining. You don't have like the ghosts are more terrifying than the True Knot people. The True Knot people just look like you and me, like normal people. So I was a little bit like, okay, I was like thinking, oh, that's going to be a super cool horror book, and I'm going to be like on my like scared all the time, but it was not that scary at all. It was just kind of like very slow moving, and then like Danny know what to do, and Habra is so strong that she can do basically whatever he wants her to do, and she has this super control over her power. And yeah, the end basically. I think they get through it very, very easily with minor injury. At no point did I have this intense feeling that they were going to die. Like, okay, when Danny sees flies, maybe I think, oh, someone's gonna die. But like, I never had this huge feeling that they were in extreme danger. Like, the Turuknot is like 40 people and she sent 5 to get them. Why? Like, she wants the kid herself, she knows the kid can feel her, but she could have sent the whole bunch of them. Like, for me it feels a little bit too easy. Like, a lot of the resolution of the book feel too easy. Like, the supernatural part, at least. And like a lot of things, like the family relationship, I was like, do we actually really need that family relationship? It could have been left out. Like, I don't even know if there was any little bit of way we could have guessed the relationship from The Shining or anything. No idea. And so the family relationship, just like when I saw that, I was like, oh really? It looks like any bad drama where you discover you have like this relationship. And I was like, oh god, what? So that kind of killed me a little bit about that book. I mean, it's not as good as The Shining, definitely. It's not as good as Carrie, it's not as good as Charlie. Like, a lot of, like, it's not one of the best Stephen King book. Like, Misery is even a lot better than that. Anyway, so, what else was annoying? Yeah, okay, so, the antagonists, right, they are those terrible, terrible people. According to everyone around the main character, like Danny, Abra's parents, like, everybody agrees they are terrible. But I started to empathize with them. Because the thing is, when they are up against the ghost, when they are up against, like when Danny was up against those creatures in The Shining, it's always just like they want to hurt. There is hunger, there is lust, and they want to hurt him, and they want to be terrible, and they have nothing else. They're just bad. But the Turuknot, they're not just bad. And that's the point. The point is, yes, they kill kids, which is terrible, but that's the only way they can feed. So basically, it just, like, there is this parallel in the book that they eat, like, they take that steam from humans, just like humans take nutrition from cows. So there is this parallelism between the Turuknot and human and the, like, veganism, basically. And like, so in a way, it's just like, it's their survival. They kill kids, which is terrible, but that's the only way they can survive. And on the other side, you see all their relationship. We see that they love each other, they care for each other, like, they're like very linked to each other, they're like a family. So you have all those relationships which kind of make you feel bad for them, like, oh my god, yeah, they kill that kid because they need to feed. But they have no choice. If they don't feed, they die. And yeah, maybe they lived forever, but that doesn't mean you have to let them die. So it's like, I was kind of like sympathizing with them. It's like, if you have no choice, it's like people on a boat stranded at sea, who have no food anymore and don't know where is a hearse or whatever, like it happened so many times in the old days, and they were turned to cannibalism. They would eat one of them. And I mean, it's bad, but it's not like they have a choice. I mean, yeah, in the sea they can fish still, but I don't think the Truknot can actually live without the steam. I'm not saying it's good to sacrifice things, I'm just saying there is no choice. So I was empathizing with them. And like, I feel sad when they all die. Like, the thing is, okay, we have the big boss, which is Rose, who actually, like, they are all sick, so they're all gonna die. But she's the bad one. She's the one who actually tortured the kid. Even so, everybody wanted to, like, help catch him. So, are they all as bad is also another question. Because when they kill them, it's like indiscriminately. And I mean, they don't have any remorse. Except, like, at the end, Danny asks, are you sad because you didn't want to kill her, or are you sad because you were happy that you did? And that's kind of true. It's like, none of them show any kind of second thought about killing them or regret or anything. It's like they have zero empathy for those people, because they're still people even if they're not human. And I'm like, yeah, maybe they're monsters, but anyway. So yeah, that was one of my problems. Is like, if I start empathizing with the bad guy in the horror thing, is like, how am I supposed to deal with that? Like, when they all die. So I was like, oh crap. And like, the fact that they are like, we don't know how they got created. We don't know how it all started. And one thing that puzzled me is that the grandpa comes from Europe, like Ireland, and he has this Celtic ring that he gave Rose and stuff. So he's very old and from Ireland, right? But at the same time, it looked like the nest of those creature, or like, is that hotel that burned down, because that's where they end up living. And I'm like thinking, okay, so what is actually their origin? Like, that hotel burning down, the steam, the machine that, like, the boiler that turned up, like, blew up at the end of The Shining. So that boiler created the steam, right? So Danny has this click, like, okay, the steam gotta be the boiler. But like, if the grandpa is from Ireland and arrived like hundreds of years ago and is still alive, it's because he existed before the boiler existed. So what is the point with that boiler? Why is that calling things steam? I don't know. It's like this big thing is like, oh, that's a sort of, I don't know, inconsistency? Yeah, big one. Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure, like, it doesn't bother a lot of people, but it actually bothered me. Like, because I read some review, like, I haven't seen that mentioned, but like, it bothers. That's the kind of thing that bother me. It's like, where do they come from? How were they created? Is there more of them? Because yeah, some managed to go away before being sick, like they have measles, but like, some managed to go away and quit Rose before the all blow-up party. Oh my god, it's not a blow-up party, it's a green line party. Is it called green line in English? I don't know. The one with John Coffey. In French it's called La Ligne Verte. So in English, I'm not sure what it's called, because I didn't read it in English. So yeah, basically, the end of those guys. That's taken from there. So in that case, I was like, hey, so John Coffey's power is actually the Shining. So that was kind of mind blowing. It's like it kind of entered a relationship of between the Green Line and the Shining. Because in the Green Line, I'm sorry guys, I'm spoiling everything today. I'm gonna anyway, let me talk. I'm happy to talk. So in the Green Line, John Coffey is going to absorb diseases from people to cure them. Okay? In the Shining, well, in the Doctor Sleep, when Conchetta dies, Danny is there and he actually absorbs the cancer from her. So basically, if John Coffey absorbs this cancer stuff, because John Coffey absorbed cancer tumor, like brain tumor, and use it later, Danny does the same. The thing is, in the Green Line, the woman doesn't die. In the Doctor Sleep, she dies. So I don't understand why you have the same power acting so different. Because technically, in this case, if Danny had absorbed Conchetta's cancer, she should have stayed alive. So I was wondering, is it the same power or is it a different power? The only thing is that it actually looks like it works the same. They absorb it and reuse it to kill the bad guy. So, is it that the outcome for Conchetta and the woman in the Green Line is so different? I don't know. So yeah, my mind was like that last night. I was like, oh my god, this and that and that and that, and I'm like, oh crap. Like, I feel that if you consider all three books together, you have this big inconsistency. If you consider that it's the same as John Coffey's power, that John Coffey has a Shining, the outcome for both women makes it very weird because Conchetta should have stayed alive. If you consider the boiler and the Irish centuries ago as the start of those people, it also doesn't make any sense. So I think this book is a good book by itself. It's a good book if you don't focus on those little details I mentioned. It's kind of entertaining. It was a nice read. Like, I just read it and I was like, oh, I need to read more, and I didn't want to stop reading. So it was really good. But it's not consistent enough for a 5-star for me. So it's gonna be a 4-star because it's not consistent enough. Inside itself, it's not consistent enough with the other books. I mean, it's not supposed to be attached to the Green Line, but it just looks so very similar that I don't know. Anyway, so guys, that's a very long review. I'm sorry I had so many things to say. Anyway, so that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this review. Don't forget to leave me a like, share, comment, and I'll see you next time for something else. Have fun whatever you read. Bye!